How do I define community? That's a big one. That's a big question. I think now the way I define community, it's a like-mindedness and really people who are working towards the same end.
In the summer of 2021, as the pandemic left many of us feeling isolated, a community of cyclists that had grown closer through social media decided to go on a journey to commune and reconnect. West Africa, and Sierra Leone in particular, represented a spiritual and ancestral home for many of us across the diaspora. We learned of the Tour de Lunsar, the first multi-day stage race in Sierra Leone, which came about at a time when the world saw a huge growth in cycling among all people. This virtual collective saw the pilgrimage to Lunsar as an opportunity to reaffirm the commonalities that bind us as a community of cyclists across the diaspora.
When shall I see my native land? I shall never forget my home. Home again, home again.
Then a guide's gonna meet us on Banana Island.
I didn't know that. New experience.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty dope, right?
From here, I was born in Atlanta. We lived in Atlanta for a year, and then we moved to my mom's hometown of Griffin, Georgia. So we're just now part of Metro Atlanta, and I grew up in DeKalb County.
So I'm from Savannah, Georgia. I grew up there, high school, college there. Most of my family is still connected there, so that's where I am from.
I am from San Francisco, but I grew up in Hawaii. I've lived all up and down California. My mother is or was Mexican and Filipino, so we had a lot of family in Hawaii. And at one point, she just was like, I'm done with the mainland. I was probably like 6 months old and we moved to Hawaii. Yeah, that's my story, or that's part of it.
I'm from Montgomery County, 40 minutes out of Washington, D.C. Grew up in that area all my life and moved into Washington, D.C. proper about 20 years ago.
Videographer and bike mechanic Leahy was in and down for the adventure. And having done the Great Migration gravel race in East Africa last year, Dub was eager to experience what West Africa had to offer.
The experience.
And with that, the community was assembled and we were off to meet 4,000 miles away in real life.
I really feel like most people that identify as African American or other people of color always feel like they should or want to make a trip to Africa. The difficulty is always, well, where do I go?
Got the facial recognition, eh?
But what most attracts me about this one is that it is involving cycling, and it's to a part that really is extremely relevant to history, American history.
After 36 hours of travel, a good night's sleep, and a few cups of coffee, we were ready to build up the bikes.
To that kitchen, she cooks more than I took her to the field, and she plays more than I took her up the road and she walks more than I.
However, the weather and the world conspired to leave some of us stranded across Europe. But they seemed to make the most of it, until they would ultimately arrive in Freetown. While half the group had been delayed in Europe, we figured we'd head out and get a feel for the city. We were quickly reminded that while the events of the world meant higher gas prices back home, here it meant shortages and long queues for gas, and many times gas was simply not available, and the stations would shut their doors.
My name is Sagi Freeman, captain of the boats called Kipadi. Yes, every time we go to the sea, unless Sunday we cannot fish on Sunday. I catch paracuta, snapper, mackerel. Thank you, everybody.
Look at this. First time proper seeing the beach since I got here. Yeah. This trip to me represents several opportunities. One is an opportunity for me to make a connection with West Africa. I haven't been to that part of the continent. My family origins trace back to West Africa. Cycling for me has probably been the thing that I could always come to as a guaranteed supplier of many things. Adventure, exercise, peace of mind. It's a big bike race with juniors and professionals. And they're gonna go climb out of Freetown. They're gonna go to Lunsar.
Oh my God. When shall I see my home? When shall I see my name? I shall never forget my home. When shall I see my native land? I shall never forget my home.
Community is about reaching back and paying it forward in the connections that we make. Once, I was on this bike ride from Freetown, Sierra Leone, and we rode down to the village of Toke. There, I saw this kid working on his bike, and I took his picture. I donated a framed copy of the picture to an organization called Treat and Train Africa. The organization found a company in Sierra Leone that made prosthetic limbs, and they worked together to find a deserving recipient. The young lady they found had lost her leg to sarcoma. That's a type of cancer of the bone. She now has a prosthetic leg and is walking, and all that came from riding bikes, and I think that's pretty cool. Now, we were back in Freetown, and we knew we had to find the amputee camp and clinic. We had no idea where we were going, and we quickly got lost. A few wrong turns and detours, including an elementary school field day, and we eventually got to the clinic where we were welcomed by the manager and lead therapist, Miss Emily Anderson.
After the Second World War, they erected this place, but later now in 1990,
she gave us a tour of the facility and of all the great work they were doing.
Renovations here.
How old is she now? Then, we were really surprised to run into a familiar face.
Everyone, my name is Yandi Tina Conte. I am a student at the Dorothy Stinger Trust, doing basic in IT. First, I find it difficult to accept it, but thank God for life. Now I accept my situation, and I'm over it. I'm 23. You can't able to walk or stand properly except my dad or my elder brother can help me to transfer me from school.
We also got to see another young woman struggle with the process of learning to walk again. But the best part of the day was quietly looking on from a distance and watching Yandy be an instructor and a source of inspiration for this young woman. Yeah, community is about reaching back and paying it forward in the connections that we make.
My name is Sleepy Kamara, English cyclist. Today, I just arrived.
Just arrived?
Yeah.
After 2 days of weaving through traffic and learning to ride with the rhythm of Freetown's roads, we rode south past where the pavement ends to sit in the sun and swim in the eastern extent of the Atlantic. We received the call that the others had landed, and it was there on the sands of River No. 2 Beach that the team was reunited. Unfortunately, the excitement of the reunion was short-lived, as we learned that Dub's bike hadn't made it, and due to a packing error, Nedra was missing a vital part of her headset. Despite every effort to make do, including trying to shim the head tube, the bike wasn't safe to ride. Any attempt at riding left an unstable wobble.
It's the bearing race, you know?
Bearing race, yeah.
Or is it lining maybe the tube with a can that will create the tightness that's necessary? I think that's basically what we need outline.
Just trying to balance the bike. I see how much work you're doing. You know, it's going to be exhausting. You know, I hate it.
You're not. It's not an activity. You're not, but this is how groups work. You wouldn't leave somebody on a tour and tell them to go back.
It'll be a miracle. You have to make a call, Chris, based on the, you know, the extreme unlikeliness of finding that piece.
We'll go back to the house and we'll wait there. We'll walk up the hill and go.
Meet us there tomorrow for the ride back.
Yeah.
Okay. So you two go back to the house.
Yeah.
Okay, good. You're gonna make a call?
Yeah. You know how to use
It's
your phone?
just all the way down and open.
That's gonna hurt.
No.
As a small oversight threatened to unravel the trip for Nedra, I began to hear my grandmother's voice echoing through time.
Try now, Christopher. Try.
Please try.
You have to make a joke. You
Your
bring
friends
company
came
and come
all
all
this way to see
this
Sierra
way
Leone.
for cancer salon.
You
Then
don't
you know
even
one
try?
try.
Please,
Do
you
you
have to try.
Now,
Ajo
I
is
don't
what
get
made
this
this country.
country. Do
Please,
you
you
try?
have to do
I
something.
beg.
Okay, I will make it happen.
And as they are wont to do when called upon, the ancestors sent answers. An old family friend and fellow bike enthusiast was home and agreed to give us access to his quiver of bikes. A quick inventory of his stash, and we realized his mountain bike had the same headset as Nedra's Midnight Special, and we were able to scavenge the parts and salvage the trip.
Doesn't do that anymore. We can all ride together at our own pace. Word. Thank you, sir. We have a bike.
about to get started. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel good. I'm excited about today.
Let's get it. With the bike situation squared away, we decided to explore Sierra Leone's rich history. We mapped out a route of rolling hills and gravel roads that led us out of the city to the village of Kent.
Just the pandemic took away the opportunities and the things that I wanted to do. And so going into 2022, I said I wanted to be a year of adventure. And so it's just like, how do you fine tune your existence? And I think being on a bicycle and traveling and being with strangers is a thing that allows the brain to function in ways that it doesn't always get to. And you get exposed to endless possibilities that then could line up with other things you have in mind for yourself, or just introduce you to something you couldn't even imagine. Oh, that's the road.
Okay, that's good. No. We figured that once we got to Kent, we'd charter a small boat to carry us to Banana Island and all the history that it held for us.
Hello.
Fortunately, Sierra Leone continued to provide guides for us along the way.
We have to catch a boat, yeah.
You know, I can take me.
Yeah, take me there.
Okay, no problem.
No ride fast though, I don't tire.
I'll take it.
Tamarind or mango?
Mango.
Tamarind. You have cold water. Sankofa, and it's very simple, but it's being able to look back in order to look forward, to create this right life, right living. And so I would say for me, that really is what community is about.
I think it's important to be able to reach back as far as you can and connect physically with the land that your people were a part of.
So once more again, welcome to Freetown, welcome to Banana Islands. To start with, there are a lot of stories, a lot of history about the foundation of Sierra Leone. And there's a man called Pedro da Center, who was fortunate to visit Sierra Leone in 1462. In fact, when you're in the coastline or you're in the peninsula, you'll be able to see the flag of Sierra Leone. Green to the mountain, white to the sun, blue to the ocean. That's green, white, and blue. So when they started exporting the slaves, it's not a willing of the people. What did they have? People are living in a very circular and very united and very comfortable way of life. But when they came, they captured people from different areas, from different communities, different islands. Bon's Island is one of the major slave ports in the west coast of Africa. Though they have the Gori Island, they have the other one, the Almira out of Ghana, but that was the base. But the most fortunate part of it, for any slave masters, normally we call them slave stealers, where any community they go, they have to make sure that they kill the very young and the very old. This is a way of demoralizing or trying to reduce the powers of the youth so that people can submit or surrender themselves very easily and quickly. He went to John Newton. You have committed so many atrocities, so many problems in Sierra Leone. Why can't you testify that to the court of, to the House of Parliament in England here, so that other parliamentarians can also support the vote to abolish slavery? He wrote, he said the song Amazing Grace. He regretted all his deed, all his atrocity. He converted to be a very good Christian and stood up to be against slavery anymore.
Now morning me people them, go there, my sister them. Tell una thank you una don't come visit this island. I wanna see this island, I wanna enjoy the island, I wanna enjoy the food, the breeze and everything. We pray that when una don't go so una go come back, okay, enjoy the island. Let God carry una go in Jesus' name. As una don't come so una go safely back in Jesus' name. I shall get home.
I think there's a biking component to be remembered, and then there's this component of our ancestors came from this coastline, possibly this country, the island, being on the shore going towards, although it happened really fast, I just sat with, damn, this was the last time they had their feet on this land.
Maybe you have one copy. Go after woman. Wait. Hey, go talk to. No, mistake, brother. How are you? Oh, the second one too. Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
He's gone.
Got you.
That breakfast, that's what I'm
We need some
focused on
food.
right now.
We need some food.
Yeah, we need fuel. You know, after a couple of days of bouncing around Freetown, Banana Island, the race day is approaching, and we got all of these mechanical issues to sort out. With Nedra's bike had a headset piece missing, and Dub's bike hadn't arrived. He wants to race, and we're doing all of these things to get folks at a place where they can have the best experience.
The culmination of what we've been planning for a while, but I tell you what, it can't be as great as all the friendship and fraternization has been the last couple of days. Certainly also the cultural and learning aspects. But we're all competitors here. We're going to get out there, be a part of it and see what happens. So I'm looking ready to rock and roll.
Hey, Leahy, what's up?
What up? Yeah, just stoked. It's gonna be yeah, I don't know. Excited to see the cotton tree.
Starting thoughts?
No,
Just no.
just finished and don't die.
What do you
Yeah, staying hydrated is real. I agree. I mean, we're up for a lot of. I've never been this close to a race. Always a spectator, but never really followed a race. So this is going to be interesting. Yeah, stay upright, ride hard. Look for the finish. Go, go, go. Ready.
Kai, it's really good to meet you in person, man.
You grow up.
We will.
I want to have a flag.
There you go.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
Good to meet you.
Likewise.
We will.
Likewise.
Appreciate all of your help. Awesome. Nice to meet you.
We get our breakfast on the way to the route. We arrive there, and it's just seems like a jumble of bikes and riders and registration folks and trucks passing through the space that we were able to launch the race from. And the excitement in the air is so palpable that that between everything that's going on, all the things to take in, you know, it dawns on you that we're finally here. Like the main purpose of this trip, to catch the Tour de Lunsar and be a part of that experience. It's being crystallized right there at the beginning of the race, and the excitement was overwhelming.
Yeah, so this is a Surly midnight special. Gravel bike, perfect for riding through the streets. And
I like the wheels are perfect. Wow.
The wheels are perfect, yeah.
Alhaji Marouf Sisse. I am the Secretary General for the Lunsar.
Me, I'm John Rice, Tamin one from Benin.
Moi, j'ai quitté Bénin, on m'appelle Brice Mouton. Je suis le technicien de la photo finish du Bénin. On doit venir ici faire des tags pour Sierra Leone.
I'm Karim, CEO founder of Tour de Lunsar. I'm excited to have you here. I hope you can enjoy this ride.
We get the chance to take off at a slow roll pace through Freetown with the pros, with the elite men, and I'm riding with Chris and with Dub and Damon, and we take off, and it's just a mass of horns and shouts, and we're rolling through the city, and we roll up through the hill, and we see the cotton tree, and we're coming up the hill of the cotton tree, and we stop there and hear a piece by the mayor of Freetown, grateful for the event and excited for what it shows that Sierra Leoneans are able to put together.
All of us here have seen how beautiful our country is. For some of you that are from another country, you see how beautiful Sierra Leone is. And I hope as you going on this event, it will be successful. And then all of us will be together and work as a team for the development of Sierra Leone. Thank you all on behalf of our worship the mayor, Akisoya. Thank you so much.
I look to my right, and he's wiping his eyes. He's wiping tears from his eyes, and looking down, and I said, "This is it." He said, "This is it."
racing with Africans. You're racing with the most people like you outside of the U.S. And so it's good connecting with other people like you and other Africans that doing what you're interested in, taking it to the next level.
The party pace continued until we arrived at Waterloo, and there, the sensory deluge of sights and sounds could only be exceeded by the adrenaline of the race that ensued.
Sierra Leonean can have a platform to race. Also, how I can bring nearby African countries who don't have the opportunity or the platform to race in their country to come and race. For fans who want to experience cycling in Sierra Leone, West Africa for the first time, try to make it.
Dub's riding one of Kai's bikes, and it's just enough. He doesn't have his clipless pedals. He's wearing soft-soled tennis shoes, but it's just enough for him to get to the starting line and be there with the elite men.
Each day, we found the city center of Lunsar alive with people. Kids packed every open corner they could find to catch a glimpse of the racers. We met and talked with fellow cyclists who expressed their love for the sport.
Yes, I love to ride bicycle. I ride for FCT, Lunsar Cycling Team.
Each day featured the energy and history of Sierra Leone's rich cultural traditions, and we celebrated both victory and defeat together as a community of cyclists from across the diaspora. We are all of you who feel most at home when riding bikes, and riding bikes has brought us home.
Ladies and gentlemen, now the stage is waiting for them. Lunsar Cycling, well done, well done. I told them thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you very much.
For this particular tour, is the first time like you're seeing like 3 cyclists wearing the same color socks. You know it, Mr. Thomas, you've been here for so many years. So this is going to be like a phenomenal donation to all the riders. We appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, and I can speak on behalf of them, and I can tell you how excited they are if I present it to them. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
God bless.
All right, yeah, for sure.
There are narratives that are very particular to a particular place and geography, and the people who lived it, who own it, they should be able to take care of and nurture and protect their culture.
Ina wande mana wande sira wande yo. Inje mama. Kana di mama.
Really grounding that we're being seen for community, which is what it was all about to begin with. Bikes were just the tool, but it was always about building community.